Hi everyone, thanks for making the left turn. For today, Saturday, September 15th, 2018, I'm George Farrar. Welcome back to the Jax Left channel and welcome to the 7th season of History Jacksonville. This is our opening episode of the 7th season. Here I am on the north bank of the St. Johns River, the beautiful St. Johns River, and I am going to bring to you today a special opener direct from my heart about our Jacksonville landing that opened on June 25th, 1987. There's a lot that's going on right now. There's been a lot of talk about what will happen with the landing in the future, and there was a tragedy on August 26th of this year. And I will speak from the heart about it. I'll present to you some facts about what currently makes the landing still so special in our hearts. It's amazing sometimes the things we take for granted. In fact, here we are starting season 7, and I'm just now really getting to talking with you about the landing. And I will talk with you about what people are saying is going to be the future of the landing. There is so much of a spirit here on our beautiful St. Johns River, our downtown, and I want to continue this season to bring you the best that I can. I've got a lot planned. I've got some viewer requests for you. So if you've made a viewer request, please be patient. I will try to get to it as quickly as I can through the rest of 2018 into May or June of 2019. There's a lot going on. I have a lot to bring you. I have a lot to show you. So, you know what time it is. It's time for me to just say it. When it's time for me to bring you the best in my hometown of Jacksonville and to bring you the pictures and the film and the facts and the stories that you, my friends and supporters out there, greatly appreciate. When it's time for me to do it, it's time for me to say, let's roll it. Many years ago, and even today, I still approach the Jacksonville landing a lot of times from the west, which makes sense because I live out on the west side. And what a beautiful morning it is. And here we see, in a close-up, we see the American flags, and we see the landing, and in the distance, the old Jacksonville City Hall, and then the hotel. And then, of course, panning to the right, we see our Main Street Bridge, otherwise known as the John T. Alsop Jr. Bridge. And, of course, we see the South Bank. We see all the different office buildings, Baptist Medical Center, the Acosta Bridge, the Fuller Warren Bridge. This is just setting the scene for you of where the landing is in relation out here on the river, the CSX building in the distance. And we pan on over to the Bank of America Tower. In the distance there was the BB&T and the Wells Fargo, previously known as Modus, previously known as the Independent Life Building, and it towers over the Jacksonville landing. So forgive me if I start off our show today with that as a start. And here we look at the Laura Street side of the landing. And this is a great area. I have had interesting moments right there by the Andrew Jackson statue. In the distance we see the Main Street Bridge, and then you see where everything is kind of tucked around behind here, and this is where you could certainly approach from downtown, from Laura Street. And there are always a lot of different events and things going on geared towards groups, celebrations, festivities are going on in the city. But it wasn't always this way. If you look at things from the 1950s perspective, there was a lot of shipbuilding going on. It was a shipyards, okay? We had the Main Street Bridge, and we, of course, though, don't see the Wells Fargo Tower. We don't see the landing. But then along comes the landing. The ships are gone. The Independent Life Building has gone up. And downtown city leaders are looking to rejuvenate the city because a lot of people are doing a lot of shopping and dining out in the suburbs. It's part of revitalizing the Jacksonville Riverfront. So June 25th, 1987, Mayor Jake Godbold was there, and people gathered to celebrate the opening of a retail dining entertainment complex to enable people to get out onto the river and to have a lot of different needs met, right? Maybe you want to go shopping, maybe you want to grab a beer, maybe you want to blow off some steam, maybe you want to have some seafood, maybe you want to have some pizza, maybe you want to go up to the food court. So there were a lot of different things going on, and back then, I remember the first week. I went the first week that the landing opened. I visited the landing with my family. That would have been my father, Terry, my stepmother, Pat, my half-brother, John. And so we went downtown to the landing, and I got a chance to see some neat stores, okay? There was, the landing at that time had a clothing store called Banana Republic with safari-inspired clothing. You could get outfitted like you were going on safari. And then there was also the Sharper Image. A lot of different cool devices, gadgets, the ever-popular massage chair, those kinds of things. The kinds of things that, as a kid, I would look at it and go, hey, wow, I'd love to get that. I'm going to be getting all of this. This will be my bedroom. This entire store will be my bedroom when I'm 21. So, but it closed in 1991. Mostly, I have known of the Jacksonville Landing as a place to go and have some food, drink, enjoy the river whenever the weather's good. You really get out there, and if there's a lot going on, like a football game or a big conference or convention, or it's New Year's or it's any major holiday, there's a lot of people rubbing elbows. Back in 2012, I visited Chicago Pizza and had a meal there. I really was impressed by their wide selection on the menu. Now, I do want to take a moment now and to pay tribute to the victims, both the victims who died and the victims who were injured by the deranged gunman on August 26th, 2018. It came as a shock for me to see this news coming out of the landing, to see it on CNN, to see it out there. And so I want you to definitely understand that my heart is heavy today in recounting this tragedy, but with the hopes that we together can aim for in the future, not only at the landing, but various other landmarks and places throughout the city that we work to improve security, improve crowd control. Now, there's been talk about changes in the future with the landing. A couple years back, people were looking at plans to completely tear down the landing and replace it with some different things. Some different concepts were floated, possibly something residential. The owner, Slayman Enterprises, talked about possibly doing a boutique hotel, residential building, a parking garage, ground floor restaurants, pedestrian plaza, courtyard with a stage. Now remember, the landing had originally been managed by the Rouse Corporation, which used to do festival marketplaces in different cities and including here in Jacksonville. So Slayman Enterprises, Tony Slayman, entered the picture in 2003 with his purchase of the landing of the building. And so he has it on lease from the city. Okay? The city has envisioned a park in the future. So now we look, though, at June of this year, when I was standing on the Main Street Bridge, zooming in on the Jacksonville landing. There's Fianna McCool's Irish pub. I've eaten there. You know, a fun fact. I used a cell phone for the first time. The first time I had a phone call that was not tethered to a landline. I did it in the courtyard there at the landing. Back in 1996, I spoke with my grandmother by cell phone. So back then, you could only talk. Then later on, you could talk and you could text. And later on, everything, right? Facebook, the internet, okay? So people use, I think, our riverfront for a variety of reasons. I think there are some good ideas eventually for there to be some more parkland, more greenery. But I don't want us to lose the concept that we successfully have for us to gather, to celebrate, and, as happened at the tournament back in August 2018, to compete, to be entertained, to shop, to have food, to be able to drink, to unwind, and to do it right there at the river bank, the north bank of the river. So there is some heavy heart in this broadcast, but I do think that there are great times ahead for the Jacksonville landing. We do know that there is some flux that's in the works. Okay, there is a challenge ahead for the city, and I hope that we can effectively meet it together. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. See you later.